Welcome to the VoiceMe Podcast, information and advice on the world of voiceover presented by voiceme.co.za, the South African search directory for voice artists and related services. I'm Andrew Sutherland, founder of VoiceMe, and in this episode, I wanted to touch more on the business side of this career, and specifically the growth mindset you'll need to have to enter the world of voiceover. Before we dive into the specifics of building a successful voiceover career, it's crucial to examine the mindset that dictates how we approach challenges, learning, and opportunities. At the core of professional growth lies the distinction between two mindsets, the limited mindset and the growth mindset. First off, the limited mindset, the roadblock to success. A limited mindset is the belief that abilities, skills, and intelligence are fixed traits, leading to avoidance of challenges, fear of failure, and a resistance to learning or change. Here's some examples. Avoidance of challenges. I'm not good at character voices, so I won't even try. Fear of failure. I'll only audition if I know I'll book the job. Resistance to feedback. That director just doesn't like my voice. Blaming external factors. The industry is oversaturated, so I'll never find work. A sense of entitlement. I have a great voice, so work should just come to me. The belief that success is luck. Some people just get lucky with opportunities. So let's work these into a story so it's easier to understand. The limited mindset, the voice that wasn't enough. John has always been told he has a great voice. Deep, smooth, and authoritative. His friends often say, "You should be on the radio," and he starts to believe that his natural voice alone is enough to land him a successful career in voiceover. Excited by the prospect, he invests in a basic microphone, sets up a makeshift recording space in his bedroom, and records a demo. He watches a few YouTube videos on voiceover techniques, but rather than dedicating time to practice, he assumes that because he has a good voice, the work will come to him. He uploads his demo to a few online casting platforms and eagerly waits for auditions to roll in. Days turn into weeks, then months, and he still hasn't booked a single job. Frustrated, he starts looking for explanations. Maybe the industry is just too saturated. Maybe the big agencies are only hiring celebrities. Maybe I'm just not lucky. Maybe my voice just isn't what people want. Instead of seeking feedback, refining his technique, or networking with industry professionals, John becomes disillusioned. He tries submitting to one or two more projects, but doesn't bother refining his reads. He's convinced that if clients don't immediately love his natural voice, then he simply doesn't have what it takes. After a few months, John quits. He tells himself, voiceover is too competitive, and moves on to something else, never realizing that his mindset, not his talent, was the real barrier to success. So where did John go wrong? He believed talent alone was enough instead of developing skills. He avoided feedback rather than using it as a tool for improvement. He expected instant success and became discouraged when it didn't happen. He didn't market himself, believing clients would find him automatically, and he blamed external factors instead of taking control of his career. Had John shifted to a growth mindset, he might have sought training, improved his business skills, and built resilience against rejection. But because he saw failure as a dead end instead of a learning opportunity, he gave up. In contrast, a growth mindset is the belief that abilities, skills, and intelligence can be developed through effort, embracing challenges, learning from feedback, and seeing setbacks as opportunities for improvement. Voice artists with this mindset embrace challenges. I've never done this type of voiceover before, but I'll try. They see failure as feedback. That audition didn't go well. What can I learn from it? They seek continuous learning. I'll invest in a coach to refine my performance. They take responsibility for growth. How can I market myself better? They believe in persistence. This is a long game. I'll keep improving and networking. They also recognize that success is built, not given. I'm developing my own opportunities. So let's tell Lisa's story about growth mindset in voiceover, the power of persistence. Lisa has always loved performing. She's passionate about storytelling and has a knack for delivering engaging reads. However, when she starts auditioning for roles, she quickly realizes that her range is limited, especially when it comes to accents. She submits an audition for a video game character that requires a British accent, but the casting director provides feedback. Your read was great, but the accent wasn't quite convincing. Instead of taking this as a sign that she's not cut out for these roles, Lisa sees it as an opportunity. She asks herself, what can I do to improve? And begins developing a plan. She invests in a dialect coach, attending weekly lessons to fine-tune her pronunciation and intonation. She listens to native speakers, watching British TV shows, studying the speech patterns of actors, and even practicing along with dialogue. She records herself daily, comparing her voice to native speakers and adjusting her articulation. She seeks out smaller projects that allows her to practice accents in real-world settings. Over the next several months, Lisa keeps at it. She auditions for roles that require various accents, not always booking the jobs, but using each rejection as a learning experience. She refines her technique, takes additional workshops, and connects with other voice artists who provide constructive feedback. One day, she auditions for another British accented character in an animated series. This time, she nails it. The casting director praises her improvement, and she books the role. Where did Lisa succeed? She saw challenges as opportunities, not limitations. She sought feedback and used it to refine her skills. She put in consistent effort, practicing daily to improve. She invested in education, working with a coach to develop her weak areas. And she persisted, understanding that failure is part of growth. Lisa's mindset led her to success because she believed in learning, adaptation, and perseverance. She knew that talent isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you develop through deliberate practice and continuous learning. So what are the moral of these two stories? Both John and Lisa had potential. The only difference was their mindset. John let early setbacks discourage him. He expected instant results, and when they didn't come, assumed the industry was against him. Lisa embraced the challenge. She understood that skills take time to develop, and she actively worked to improve. The voiceover industry is filled with talented people, but talent alone doesn't guarantee success. It's the artists who continue learning, growing, and pushing through obstacles who do thrive. So the question is, are you thinking like John or like Lisa? And if you find yourself leaning towards John's mindset, what steps can you take today to start thinking more like Lisa? Your mindset shapes your career more than you might think. So let's break this down into 3 key areas where mindset determines success or stagnation. Number 1, the audition mindset. In a limited mindset, if I don't book, I failed. A growth mindset, every audition is practice. Even if I don't book this, I've strengthened my skills. For example, a voice artist with a limited mindset gets discouraged after 10 auditions with no bookings and stops auditioning. Someone with a growth mindset might see those 10 auditions as steps towards refining their delivery, taking notes on feedback, and improving. Number 2, the marketing mindset. In a limited mindset, I hate marketing. If I were good enough, work would come to me. With a growth mindset, marketing is part of being a business owner. I can learn strategies to make it work for me. For example, a voice artist with a growth mindset might test different ways to connect with clients: cold emailing, social media engagement, networking at industry events, until they find what works for them. Number 3, the rejection mindset. With a limited mindset, I must not be talented if I keep getting rejected. In a growth mindset, rejection is part of the process. I'll keep refining my skills and trying new approaches. For example, a voice artist applies for a big commercial campaign but doesn't get cast. Instead of quitting, they listen to the final ad, analyze the booked voice's tone and style, and adapt their next audition accordingly. If you recognize any limited thinking in yourself, don't worry, it is normal. The key is to be aware of it and make a shift. So here's how. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Instead of saying, I can't do character voices, say, I haven't mastered character voices yet. Swap, I'm bad at marketing for, I'm learning marketing strategies that work for me. Seek out learning, take workshops, watch performances by top VOs and analyze their techniques. Work with a coach to improve weak areas. Expand your skills into areas like improv, dialects, or even audio production. Adopt a long-term perspective. VoiceOver is a marathon, not a sprint. Some people book quickly, others take time to build their brand. If you measure success only in immediate bookings, you'll feel discouraged. Instead, measure progress in the number of quality auditions you submit, the networking relationships you build, the improvements you make in your reads. And of course, embrace constructive feedback. A limited mindset sees feedback as criticism. A growth mindset sees it as a tool for improvement. When a coach or client gives you notes, try this approach. Instead of, they didn't like my read, think, they're helping me get closer to the sound they need. Ask follow-up questions. What would make this delivery stronger? Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. The people you surround yourself with influence your mindset. Engage with supportive, driven, and like-minded voice artists who encourage growth rather than complain about the industry. Voiceover success isn't just about having a great voice. It's about developing resilience, embracing learning, and consistently improving. The limited mindset holds you back by convincing you that success is out of your control. The growth mindset empowers you to take control of your career, learn from setbacks, and build a thriving voiceover business. So ask yourself, which mindset are you bringing to your career? And if it's not serving you, how can you shift it? So with that in mind, I'm going to give you a simple, easy-to-remember acronym that you can apply as a growth mindset framework. And it's really easy to remember. Be a VO Pro. This is an acronym I came up with that outlines key aspects of building a successful voiceover career and creating the growth mindset required to be a boss in this business. And for each of these letters, I'm going to give you a growth mindset action you can take to help you achieve success. B. Business and branding. Developing a strong personal brand and treating your voiceover work as a business. As a voice artist, you're not just a performer, you're a business. Treat your voiceover career like a business by actively building a personal brand. This could mean refining your website, creating a professional logo, and regularly updating your demos. Consider what unique features and benefits you bring to the table. You could also seek mentorship or advice on branding and adopt the mindset that building a business is an ongoing process, not something you complete once and leave. Take a moment to define your personal mission as a voice artist. Why are you doing this? Whether it's to tell stories or inspire others, having a clear why will guide you through the ups and downs of your career. E. Education. Continuously investing in coaching, training, and self-study to improve your skills. Investing in your education is a non-negotiable for long-term success as a voice artist. Perfecting your voice through coaching, workshops, and training not only expands your skills, but also demonstrates your commitment as a professional talent, and knowing that even if you're experienced, there's always more to learn. You don't know what you don't know. A voice artist with a growth mindset might take classes in adjacent areas like acting, dialects, or sound engineering to expand their versatility. A. Active marketing. Regularly promoting yourself and your services to potential clients and industry professionals. Getting an amazing set of demos is just the beginning. To truly thrive, you need to actively market yourself. As good as you may sound in your demos, no one is going to hire you if they've never heard of you in the first place. Develop a proactive marketing strategy where you're consistently reaching out to new potential clients. attending industry events, and using social media to promote your work. Instead of waiting for opportunities, you create them by actively building your network and visibility. Consistency and persistence are key. Marketing is an ongoing daily practice, not a one-and-done task. Prioritize active marketing because it is the single most important action you can take to grow your business. V. Value. Identifying and communicating your unique value proposition to stand out. There are thousands of talented voices, so it's essential to communicate what makes you unique. Continuously refine and communicate your unique value proposition by identifying your strengths and regularly assessing how you can stand out. For example, seeking feedback from clients on what they love about your voice or approach, and using that feedback to further define your unique selling points. Clearly communicating your value helps potential clients understand why they should choose you over someone else. O. Opportunities. Recognizing that every individual or business with a message to share is a potential client. One of the most exciting aspects of the VO industry is that opportunities are everywhere. Don't limit your definition of a potential client to traditional production companies or agencies. Every business, organization, or individual with a message to share is a potential customer for your services. Approach every potential job as an opportunity to grow. Whether it's a small project or a big campaign, a voice artist with a growth mindset will view every opportunity as a chance to learn, connect, and improve, understanding that small gigs can lead to bigger ones in the future. P. Practice. Consistently honing your craft through daily practice and challenging yourself with new scripts. Develop a habit of daily practice, even if it's just half an hour, pushing yourself to try new scripts and voice styles, even those that seem challenging. View each practice session as a chance to grow rather than as something to get right or perfect. Regularly try scripts for roles or voiceover categories or genres outside your comfort zone to keep expanding your abilities. The more you practice, the more confident and versatile you'll become. With AI voices on the rise, it's really important to focus on what makes you uniquely human. Your creativity, your adaptability, and emotional range. Staying competitive means honing the skills that technology can't replicate. R. Relationships and resilience. Building genuine connections and networks within the voiceover industry and embracing challenges and bouncing back from setbacks. Success in the VO industry is not just about what you know, but who you know. Proactively network within the VO community, not just for potential work, but for learning and collaboration. Don't approach networking with a "what can you do for me" mentality. Instead, do it with a mindset of building long-term, genuine relationships, understanding that these connections are valuable for mutual growth, not just immediate gain. The VO industry is full of ups and downs, rejections, slow months, technical hiccups, and difficult clients. Resilience is what keeps you moving forward despite those setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a sign to quit, view it as an opportunity to learn and refine your approach. Every no gets you closer to a yes if you keep improving and pushing forward. Develop the habit of bouncing back quickly, whether it's adjusting your audition technique, refining your marketing strategy, or even handling criticism with a professional attitude. A resilient voice artist doesn't just endure challenges, they use them as fuel for growth. And finally, O, outsourcing. Delegating tasks strategically to streamline your workflow and focus on your core strengths. Don't be afraid to outsource tasks that aren't the best use of your time and energy. Identify tasks you can delegate, like editing, marketing, or accounting, so you can focus on your core strengths, like recording or auditioning. By outsourcing strategically, you free up mental and creative energy, and that allows you to focus on everything else in Be a VO Pro to become a better artist and business owner. Embrace the mindset that you can't and shouldn't do everything alone for optimal growth. Using Be a VO Pro and focusing on these fundamental elements, you can create a solid foundation for a long and sustainable career in voiceover. You don't have to be perfect to succeed in voiceover. You just need to commit to learning, improving, and adapting. So ask yourself, are you making excuses or are you taking action? Are you avoiding feedback or are you using it to grow? Are you waiting for opportunities or are you creating them? Your mindset is the most powerful tool in your career, so choose to be a VO Pro and choose a growth mindset. And that brings us to the end of this episode, and hopefully I've made you think about how you approach your VO business and some tips to apply to your voiceover career. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so share your mindset thinking and experience. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and my support team at support@voiceme.co.za. Leave a comment here or give me a call on 0861 VoiceMe. That's 0861 864 2363 if you're in South Africa. And to sign up for a VoiceMe profile, register from the homepage at voiceme.co.za. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing and leaving a review. It really helps others discover the show. And of course, feel free to share it with a fellow VO artist or anyone who might find these insights useful. We're all about building a strong, informed community of voice professionals here in South Africa and beyond. Like, follow, and engage with VoiceMe and each other on @VoiceMeSA on all social networks. I'm Andrew Sutherland, and that's it from me here at VoiceMe for this week. Cheers for now.